I buy Imagine Dragons tickets for my girlfriend as like early Christmas gift. Right?
That's so sweet.
Kurde, sweet. Then we had a fight. You know what she said? She said that the tickets were a gift. So she wants to bring her sister.
I mean, look on the bright side. You don't have to go see Imagine Dragons.
I love Imagine Dragons.
Hey, guess what? I'm Derek.
And I'm Noah, and my favorite holiday song is Carol of the Bells. And you're listening to A Bite Of, where we take
Our current favorite pop culture obsession, enjoy one of time. Excuse me, I did not know whether we were sharing our favorite Christmas songs.
I was just thinking about it. Because this...
Carol of the Bells?
Yeah, sorry.
Is that the one that goes, Carol of the Bells, Carol of the Bells? That
yeah. I saw Trans-Siberian Orchestra in concert.
You did?
Oh, yeah. It changed my life.
I'm sure it did.
I was a band geek. Still kind of
Oh,
am.
my God. Any show we're watching, if in the background there's something that sounds like this.
That's not what it sounds like.
He's like, that's a bassoon. No matter what we're watching, that's a bassoon.
I was... Okay... You know,
he was first chair bassoonist.
Yes.
Until that new person, wench, she tried to come for his seat, and he said, nah.
I was first chair bassoonist for 12 years. So
Bassoonist.
Yes. So I very much like bassoon. Anyway, yes. I
Guess
just
what?
wanted to share it.
Guess what? That's beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jeez. All right. What are we doing? Oh, talking about Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah. Guess what? Hawkeye, our new favorite show. You might even call it our most recent pop culture obsession.
Our current favorite pop culture obsession. Yeah.
We're taking a nibble of it.
Yeah. Every episode breaking it down. So welcome. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at A Bite of Pod. Also, we have a Discord. You can find us on Patreon as well. We have bonus episodes, get cool stuff. Also, like Patreon members, just keep an eye on your mailbox for a little holiday surprise.
Patricians.
Just saying.
Patricians. Guess what, Patricians?
Something to look forward to. Stop calling them that. That's not what they're called.
I don't care. I call them Patricians. Why can't I call them Patricians? Comment below. How do you feel about Patricians?
And then also another
announcement. It's fancy. It's French.
We have limited edition Hawkeye sweatshirt currently for sale. It's embroidered. It's really nice. Go check it out.
It's real cute.
A Bite of Pod. Look at our merch. You'll see it. It's there. And then last little thing. Let me get through this. I can see you wanting to talk.
He said, no, I'm just waiting for you to send it over to me. But he said, just this. Oh, by the way, another thing. Hey, one more last little thing.
One more. Calm down.
Don't yell at me. I'm just at the ready for you to give me the finger.
I have to announce the winners of the giveaway.
Oh,
okay?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
And this one's great because they say good things about us, so it's great. So we had a giveaway. If you saw on social media, we posted about it a few times because we love these stickers and we want people to have them. And we have two winners because, why not? So the two winners of the Lucky the Pizza Dog with Santa Hat sticker winners are. And this is your Apple Podcast review name, Cammie Collins.
Cammie.
And Kick_awesome.
Kick awesome.
Kick awesome. So, if these are you, just give us a little message on any of the social medias, and then we'll just send them your way.
Noah is very responsive.
I am very responsive. But also, you guys left very nice reviews, and it's great. We love you guys.
Heartwarming. Heartwarming for these cold winter months?
Cammie, you said giddy enthusiasm.
Giddy enthusiasm.
Derek loved those two words together, so.
Noah sent it to me, and I said, I cannot get enough of giddy enthusiasm, because that, to me, really feels like it encompasses part of my life's philosophy. And also, Cammie Collins, you also talked about my accents, which was just, you just are just feeding my soul. Thank you.
So you guys are going to be getting the Lucky the Pizza Dog sticker. So yeah, give us a message and we'll send it to you.
2 thumbs up.
Yep.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready for
Your
the episode.
announcements are
Yeah.
good? Okay.
Yes.
So,
God.
excuse me. Not the attitude. Not on a Thursday night. So guys, it's been a while, but guess what? We got to take a look back
Yeah, we had 2 episodes
before we go forward.
in our first episode, so it's weird. This
Yeah.
whole season is weird. Not like our show, kind of.
Well,
Don't
no.
say anything. Don't comment below on that one. But we're already halfway through this show, and there's only been 2 weeks of this show, so
I can't. And then guess what? Next thing is Christmas. Okay, so we need to take a look back at Hawkeye episode 1, Never Meet Your Heroes, and episode 2, Hide and Seek. So, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Bring your kids down to Broadway to see Rogers, the musical. Snag your seats because tickets are selling fast.
okay.
Now, while this sounds like a great offer, our friend Clint Barton is not amused. He leaves early and he and his kids get a bite of Chinese and settle at their hotel only to see Ronin roaming the streets of NYC.
Oh.
Flashback to Kate Bishop as a young gal who sees the Battle of New York from the hole where the wall of her family's penthouse used to be. R.I.P. Derek Bishop. In the distance, I had to say my name one more time. In the distance,
This is very dramatic.
Hawkeye is being amazing. She is inspired. In present day, the prodigy is sent home with a hefty bill for a clock/bell tower she destroyed at school. There, rich mama is waiting to whisk her to a charity gala. Surprise! Her mom's engaged to Jacques Duquesne.
Is that how you say his last name?
I don't know how you say it, but it's funny because in the it's funny in the show.
They kind of skim over it.
Well, it's Jack Duquesne. They call them the Duquesnes.
That's probably how you say it.
Yeah, Armand,
Oh, whatever.
Duquesne, Uncle.
Is that it for the
Armand.
recap?
No.
Oh.
I was just explaining. You asked a question, I was answering.
Oh my God.
After antics at a black market auction,
Jesus Christ.
Kate is the person in the Ronin suit. She saves Lucky the pizza dog and is on the run from the track suit mafia. In episode 2, our heroes part ways to dig into their own mysteries. Clint LARPs the day away to nab the Ronin costume, while Kate fences against her soon-to-be stepfather. Barton lets the bros kidnap him, and Kate shatters the glass ceiling to find him.
Oh, I like that one.
You're welcome. Enter Echo.
Oh, yeah. So let's officially take a
No.
bite of...
Spoiler alert!
Oh, damn it.
You turn to take my line. Spoiler alert, if you have not watched Hawkeye episode 3, be sure to watch it and then come back. All right, let us officially take a bite of, or as Stefan has said in the Discord, an amuse-bouche of Hawkeye episode 3, Echoes.
We have been watching a lot of the Great British Bake Off / the Great American Bake Off Holiday Edition. You have to say Holiday Edition.
No. It's the Great American Baking Show Holiday Edition.
Oh, okay.
You know, they don't call it Bake Off in the United States because Bake Off is trademarked by Betty Crocker.
Okay. Well,
So when you watch some of the old ones on Netflix where it says Bake Off on the plate, they blur it out. The thing they win at the end?
I was about to say something I liked instead of censorship.
Sorry.
Been watching a lot of that, so amuse-bouche is nice to hear.
An amuse-bouche, a canapé, a patisserie week.
So let's officially talk about episode 3 of Hawkeye. Echoes. Which Derek pointed out, he's like, yeah, like Echoes of the Past. And I'm like, oh, it's not just Maya Lopez's superhero name, alias that's coming out. It actually makes a little sense.
Marvel said, let me tell you a little something about poetry. It's every day in your life, and we're going to put it in here, and you're going to be like, wow. That's what Marvel said.
They did. So Echoes begins by taking us back to 2007. We meet a young Maya at school struggling to keep track of what her teacher is telling the class. This little actor looks just like the adult actor that plays Maya.
Aliqua.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Same face. Same
I
person.
thought it was her, and I was like, that's just her de-aged.
It's what?
They put her in little tiny overalls. It's her.
Those overalls and that little shirt. Oh my gosh, she's so cute with that little French braid. I can't take it.
So, I really love that you get to see how she understands the world being deaf. And she sees other students open the book and she's like, okay, I need to open the book and I'm just going to do what's on the page. And it's cool too because the teacher, it seems like the teacher was like, oh, you're not paying attention. You're just doing whatever. She comes over and she's like, oh, you already did it. And you had time to draw.
Right. And I think that this is giving us a little insight into who Maya is as a person, as far as how she watches the world, she watches those around her. But then I also think it's a testament to her intelligence, right? Because the teacher comes over, is going to chastise her for sort of jumping ahead or doing whatever. But when she looks at the page, she's filled out everything correctly.
And drew.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's a top-notch little kiddo.
Mm-hmm.
And we have hearts for her already.
Oh, yeah. For Maya in general. Far from giving up, Maya excels by forging ahead, using both her natural and learned skills. At home, her loving father, William, plays games with her and talks to her about dragons, immediately making me think of Shang-Chi. I mean, it was just like,
100%.
Dragons do exist. Just wait a couple of years and then Shang-Chi will come out.
Well, he even said, like, dragons don't exist, but maybe they exist in another world, right? And in Shang-Chi, they sort of go to another place.
True.
Right?
Different realm. Yeah.
Also, the sign for dragon is badass. The little fire hand that comes out.
It makes sense.
Totally.
I mean, the more I'm seeing ASL being used, especially in the Marvel properties, and I should educate myself more, but lo and behold, we're watching this and we're seeing it more. I'm like, a lot of these signs make sense for what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I can't get over it's really interesting, right? So it's like myself, I identify as a gay man, and I yearn to see myself in media. But the thing is that when I see other diverse folks being represented in media, I get chills, even if it isn't someone from the LGBTQ community. Like, and looking at Alec Cox, you know, she's deaf, she has a limb difference. She's representing so many people. This one character is representing so many people. And so when I see it on the screen, I get chills. I get emotional. It's such a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah.
You know, it was like Makari in the Eternals. It's that same feeling of being like, finally, in mainstream media, we're being represented. Mm-hmm. And so this one character is doing that already. And even it starts in this episode with a little girl.
Oh, yeah.
It's so important.
Yeah. The little girl can act, too.
Oh, she's so cute. She's so cute.
Love her. We then have little Maya question why she isn't going to the special school for the deaf. And William apologizes and said it would be better for her in the long run, that she's going to have to learn to jump between two worlds. And that can really mean anything at this point. But I kind of took it as kind of literal and not really literal, and then like an existential thing / kind of meta thing, because we can assume that the Netflix Marvel stuff is going to eventually be absorbed into the MCU because, I mean, Kingpin's coming. He is coming. Even if it's Vincent Kingpin from the Daredevil Netflix stuff, he's coming. So I feel like we're going to have to wait to see what that really means. Mm-hmm. That's how I took that.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at it a more like sort of practical thing for the story, I think he's sort of saying these things to her because she says something like, I thought you said we could pay for me to go to the deaf school. And maybe they can't, and that's what leads him into the life of being part of the Tracksuit Mafia.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know, he can't do whatever it is to get her there, so he's trying his best in whatever way it is, and maybe that leads him to becoming part of this group.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he has to provide for his kid. I
exactly.
mean, it's a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
It sucks, but...
Where's mom? No mention.
Out of the picture.
Yeah.
Probably
gone.
Just gone.
Yeah. Probably got snapped or something. You know, the usual story.
Oh. Well, no, not that. Well, maybe. Or just like snapped kind of metaphorically. Just dead. So young Maya in karate school shows her ability to watch others' movements and recreate them. I like when she studies how the biggest student in the class, from what we can see, the move they did, she watched, and then she used it against him. And that directly goes to the comics.
Right.
I'm going to bring up the comics a little bit in this episode.
Give it to us.
Because there's a lot.
That history.
In the comics, all she needs is a bit of footage of a fight between Daredevil and Bullseye in order to master each of their moves and use them in combat against them. So think Taskmaster. If you saw Black Widow, the movie, it's kind of like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not so much like robotic, but it kind of is. That makes sense.
And it's interesting, right? Because for these two characters, at least in the MCU, there's no like superhuman power. Do you know what I mean? In the sense of like, I don't know, like a super serum that made them super strong, or they turn into a Hulk sort of thing. It's like they are just humans who can look at something and study it.
Yeah. I mean, the exception of Taskmaster being kind of half cyborgy.
Well, that really never got explained in the MCU.
No, it really didn't. So, in Echo's life montage, we see her easily defeat a mailboxer. The same scene happens in her first comic appearance in Daredevil #9.
Hey.
So I did like it. But we also do see that in the earlier karate scene and in this one, there's a prosthetic leg.
Yes.
Which, Larko Cox, that's actually her prosthetic leg. And I love that they just used it with the character.
Yeah.
Don't try to hide it. Don't try to do CGI because there's really no fucking need, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
I completely agree. I have a question.
Yes.
I don't mean to put you on the spot in your comic book knowledge, right? So as we see, the MCU is sort of like rewriting things and making things fit the way that they need it to for the story that they're telling.
Mm-hmm.
So you keep referring to Echo being in the Daredevil comic, and obviously we're thinking that Kingpin is going to be coming into this at some point. But where do Echo and Hawkeye ever cross paths?
They do, in the fact, because I think I said this in the before you watch Hawkeye episode, Echo, which Maya will eventually hopefully become, which we actually know, we do know she's going to become that because her spinoff show is called Echo.
Mm-hmm.
She was Ronin first.
Ah.
And in the comics, Hawkeye does become Ronin, so they do cross paths in that way.
Right.
But what's interesting about this, and I did write this in my notes somewhere, that I think it's interesting that in the MCU version, what we're seeing of her now, she's never been a villain in her entire history. But I don't necessarily feel like she is a villain. She's more, she kind of grew up in this mafia type thing, but she's really just in it to kind of avenge her father. Which
right, exactly.
The Avengers are called avenging. Yeah. So, I mean, can we really say? I mean, if
we all just avenging?
I mean, at some point, yes.
Right?
So it's like I mean, she's an antagonist, but I don't want to put her as a villain.
Oh, he's an antagonista. Okay, he's an antagonista, not a villain.
But in this, why?
Why? Okay, don't ever question the voices. They come from a place inside me that I cannot explain. They are natural to me like anything else.
Great explanation.
Excuse me. I was going to say something inappropriate and I decided to censor it because this is a family podcast.
Is it?
Yes, because Cammie said that she talks to her kids about us and I don't want anything getting to them.
No, her kids ask about us. Because she listens to us.
Yeah, and then what is she going to say? Derek said a bad word. See, this
says
is the thing.
Explicit on the podcast.
So you know how people have like a high like I don't know, like sports people have like a hype song or something like that, or maybe there's like a chant that like a person will listen to before they're giving a concert or something. One of my hype things before recording is that I watch Trixie and Katya compilations because they get me in the headspace that I need to, but they say a lot of curse words and sometimes that gets embedded in my brain. And that's not fair to share with our listeners.
Okay.
You asked.
No, I know. You said it. I got it.
Anyway.
It is an explicit podcast, so I mean, we can really say whatever we want.
Anyway, don't question my voices.
So in the scene, moving on, in the scene with young Maya, her dad comes to the karate meet, says, "Oh, your uncle's going to pick you up." So let's talk about this uncle for a second because we see this figure in a black suit come over to Maya and pinch her cheek. You can hold this against me. I'm 100% sure that is Kingpin. There's just no way there's too many connections. It makes no sense if it wasn't.
When she looks up at him, her head is like so far back. That's how big this person is.
It's like been long rumored that the infamous Daredevil Spider-Man villain would make his MCU debut in Hawkeye. It's been rumored. It's been all over the place, and I can't see it not happening.
Right, but also the thing is that okay, so look, we could do little tweaks for these characters in the MCU, but when it comes to the basis of the character, right, even in the comics, Echo is tied to Kingpin.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't see it as a Ralph Boner situation. There's no way. Obviously, it can't be Yelena because the time frame just doesn't make sense because she also would be a kid.
Very tall. Too tall.
So, I mean, it's all arrows are pointing towards the return of Vincent.
Oh,
from Netflix's Daredevil.
Better don't. How dare you?
Like within the opening minutes of Echoes, the episode, Maya's father tells her Uncle would be there to pick her up. The entire time throughout this episode, it's very on the nose that they're not saying this person's name.
Yeah,
he's referred to Uncle.
Uncle Wink.
Right.
Wink. Wink.
And his face is very deliberately cut off.
Oh, it's totally Nanny from Muppet Babies.
But never saw it.
You've never seen Muppet Babies?
Is that like Looney Tunes babies?
Muppet Babies. When we come
I wasn't a
true.
Muppets fan. I'm just going to say
Well, it was
that.
a cartoon.
Even
it was like
worse.
Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fonzie? What's that guy's name? Gonzo.
Gonzo? Why'd you say Fonzie?
Gonzo, by the way, on our team, right, likes to wear princess dresses. Have you seen the new?
No.
Oh my God, girl, get into it. But anyway, in Muppet Babies, they were like at a daycare center, and there was a woman, I believe her name was Nanny, and all you saw were her striped socks, but that's all you could see because they were little babies. They were so small. So to keep them in frame, you never saw what she looked like.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's like Miss Bellum from Powerpuff Girls.
Yes, almost, but even lower.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I always thought
Powerpuff Girls I would have got.
I always thought that the main woman from Golden Girls would have played her. Not Blanche.
Rose?
Not Rose. Oh, I can't believe her name is escaping me right now.
Aren't they all the main women?
B. Arthur.
Aren't they all the main characters?
Well, she was kind of like, because like she was connected to Sophia because that was her mom, and then the other, it's okay, it's fine. B. Arthur.
So anyway, fueling the mystery
Dorothy.
even further. Oh, Dorothy. Okay.
Yeah.
Fueling the mystery even further, Clint also refrains from calling out the guy by name when he's given Kate the rundown of the Tracksuit Mafia later in the episode.
Sure.
They started small but grew. There's a guy at the top who'll do anything to grow the operation. Maya's not in charge. You don't want to get on his bad side. It's like, come on. Wink.
Or
it's him.
The writers don't know who it is, and they're just like, I don't know, just kind of keep it under wraps. I don't know.
They know who he is. There's no way. Also, Maya's father saw him, so I mean, I'm sure he walked around at some point.
Hello.
He has to be.
It's me, Kingpin.
I mean, when you factor in Maya and her father's connection to him in the comics, again, back to what you said, there's no way. I mean, there's just that canonly it just all goes back to Kingpin with her.
Organically. But my question is, though, why bury the lead?
Because it's
why make us bust?
Because it's a gigantic thing to have one Kingpin in the MCU, and not just any Kingpin, but Vincent's Kingpin from Daredevil. Like
Vincent D'Onofrio? Is that what you...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is I'm on a first name basis with him.
Yeah, I guess so. You guys text?
Well, I watched the Daredevil series.
They SMS text each other.
There's no way that he's not coming in this one. Also, in the flashback scenes, did you notice that whenever she does she rides on the motorcycle when she's older, it's like a flashback, but more current flashback?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Fat Man Auto Parts. I mean, it's right there, guys. Like... Kingpin,
body
gigantic.
Shaming. Oh.
No, not body shaming. Don't make it weird. Kingpin's coming. And that's it. That's all I'll say about Kingpin.
Kingpin's coming. But in that karate flashback, we do see her father wearing a tracksuit.
Yeah, he's obviously joined the tracksuit mafia, for sure.
Yeah.
So now that brings us to Maya's father's death. We see the moment that Maya's life changed and what drives her in the present. First off, I will say that this woman is amazing. We see this current flashback of a beautiful, deaf Native American woman with a prosthetic leg, riding a motorcycle, has pigtails, ready for anything.
Leather jacket.
Love it. Just the visual of it. Can't get enough of it.
Me either.
And we see that at Fat Man Auto Repair, that there's a kerfuffle inside.
Kerfuffle? Bloodshed, mayhem, massacre.
The show, Hawkeye departs from her comic origins in a crucial way at this point, as the death of her father has now been wrapped up in Clint Barton's dark. In the comics, Maya's dad. Maya's.
My dad. Is it me and my dad? I'm Italiano.
It's so hot in here. Why is it so hot?
It's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes. You are wearing a sweatshirt. Why don't you take that sweatshirt off?
I don't want to. We're recording.
Well, you said you're hot.
In the comics, Maya's dad was murdered by the Kingpin. I did mention Kingpin again. I'm sorry, I lied. But not before she was first manipulated into believing that Daredevil killed her father. So this is why I'm thinking that the Ronin we see may not be Hawkeye Ronin / Clint Barton Ronin. Because it would make sense with her origin that she was manipulated and thinking that it was Clint's Ronin and not hers. But when this takes place, this is when people were blipped. Okay. Maya wasn't blipped, nor was her dad.
Okay.
So it would make sense that Clint Barton was there. So I don't know.
Listen. You're onto something hot, right? Because here's the tea. Anyone can make a little leather hoodie. You know what I'm saying? Anyone can make that.
I guess.
Guess who's good with swords?
Swordsman.
Uh-huh. Guess who else might be good with swords? Our good friend, the crying clown Kazi.
No.
Uh-oh. He's trying to keep her in check these days because guess what? I murdered your dad.
Yeah, I mean, Kazi is one for concern. I definitely would. We need to keep an eye on him because Echo's getting a spin-off show, and I feel like he might be some trouble for her. I don't think he'll have the clown makeup in Hawkeye.
Oh, I want that clown makeup at some point, though. It's
or at
so
least
effective.
A end credit scene, I could see him maybe having it.
He's just using a little brush to paint on that little teardrop.
I mean, they are in KB Toys, so I mean, they totally could.
Yeah.
After Kingpin had him killed her father in the comics, I'm still about the comics, Kingpin then adopted Maya, began grooming her to follow in her father's footsteps. So he kind of adopted her after he killed her father and then was like, I'll take you in, I'll put you in the best schools, you'll also be an asset to me. Doesn't work out that way. This episode tweaks Maya's past in order to neatly fit it into the context of Hawkeye and the MCU, weaving in the ties of the Tracksuit Mafia into introducing her as a true villain, despite the fact that the character has never once been a villain since debuting in the 1990s Daredevil series. So I'm still not convinced that she's a villain. We'll see. I'm just going to see. She's always a superhero, so I'm just holding out for that
I'm sure she'll make that turn at some point.
Mm-hmm. Although witnessing her father's killing as an adult has blinded her with the desire to exact revenge on Ronin, which is ironic considering that she was the first character to don the Ronin costume in 2005 New Avengers comic. I think that's still funny. And I also think it's interesting that he's the only one that ever had the Ronin costume because it existed before him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they just needed a way to like give him some outlet to deal with his grief during the snap.
Right.
Her mission on revenge also puts her at odds with Kazi, who has already called her out for placing her own motivations above the interests of the crew. And their growing attention definitely has to be kept an eye on. I feel like they're going to become like hero or protagonist and antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, they're pushing against each other for sure.
But none of these tweaks change the most important parts of Maya's upbringing, leaving plenty of room wink, for Hawkeye to introduce one of Marvel's biggest, wink, bad guys. I didn't say his name. This also confirms that she was not snapped during the blip. So
Noah's obsessed with Kingpin.
End
of podcast.
You know what? Okay. You don't understand. He's so good. You saw him in Into the Spider-Verse. He's great.
I'm not saying he's not great.
I'm excited.
You're allowed to be obsessed. I'm just pointing that out.
Back in the present. So that was all kind of mostly before the credits or the intro. What do they call it? Title card. That's what they call it. Movie speak.
Opening.
We're back where the last episode wrapped up. Clint and Kate are captured by the Tracksuit Mafia and old KB Toys, which plays into the Christmas theme of the show. Because KB Toys sadly doesn't exist anymore. Didn't it try to come back in like 2018?
I don't know. It was a part of my childhood, but it no longer is around.
No, they're all gone, just like Toys R Us.
Well, yeah. Well, Toys R Us did something weird. Toys R Us went away, but then they became like a showroom floor. And like you couldn't buy anything there, but like you could look at stuff. It was very bizarre.
Where?
In Times Square.
Ew.
It was really weird. It was like, they're like, oh, we're open again. And everyone was excited. But it was like you went in there and like you could only order stuff from affiliate places. It was really weird.
Okay.
It didn't last long.
Yeah, that's weird. Well, obviously not. You can go into a place but not buy anything. What is this, a museum? Even museums have gift shops.
What is this, a museum?
But this is where we see Kate and Clint both on those, what did we decide they were called? Quarter rides? Machines?
Yeah, quarter machine rides.
Yeah, and they're laughing at them. They're putting quarters in it and it's making them go up and down. I mean, it is kind of funny.
Would you have ridden the unicorn or the plane as a child?
Unicorn.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely. Plane's boring.
Actually, no, I probably would have done the plane because even as like a 5-year-old, I was trying to hide my homosexuality.
I had sisters, so I always used that as like a
I didn't.
scapegoat. I mean, but if there was a dinosaur, I would be on that one. Just saying. Like, no unicorn, nothing.
How bizarre was that? It was literally a 25-cent thing that like went forward and back for about 5 minutes, if even that long.
I have a confession. I've never ridden one, so I don't know.
That is the saddest story I've ever heard.
Why?
Because every kid has to ride a quarter machine.
I'm good. I am still one of those kids that like doesn't like to be on things that like a lot of people are on. Like, I always found those gross.
Listen, this was before the day of hand sanitizer. Yeah.
I still, even back then, I was like, no, thank you. I wouldn't get into pools, like public pools.
Chlorine.
Still, in my head, I was like, no. Because I would probably pee in that, and I was like, everybody in there is peeing. So I was one of those kids that would just observe, like have their feet in the water by the side, and just, I had to find my own way. Yeah.
All right. That's a little sad, but it's fine.
I was fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
One of the tracksuit bros is having some trouble involving his girlfriend at an Imagine Dragons concert. Kate says it's all about communication. But also, why that band?
I feel like there must be some tie to someone that's a writer or something on Hawkeye.
But this is the second mention of dragons.
Oh, I just thought someone was playing a prank on their friend who's in Imagine Dragons.
It could be.
Yeah.
Bert and Ernie, the directors of the show.
Bert and Birdie. Bert and Birdie.
Are they related to somebody in there? Also, wasn't Bruce Lee's nickname like Little Dragon or something like that?
I don't know.
I feel like it could go with her fighting style. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out the dragon stuff.
Thunder. Feel the thunder.
I think it just really just might be because Shang-Chi exists now and there's like, dragons in the MCU.
Maybe, but who wants to go to an Imagine Dragons concert now? Me, sort of.
I don't.
I feel
like I feel like Imagine Dragons is kind of verging on the Nickelback of modern times.
Listen. I like Nickelback. There, I said it. I mean, I don't love Nickelback. I'm not like dying for their next album, but like the 2 or 3 singles that they released, I enjoyed. Like that one Vine. Look at this graph.
There's no way. Yeah, okay, you like that, but you don't like Nickelback.
Look at this photograph.
No.
It'll make me laugh.
Comment below. Do you like Nickelback?
Well, no one likes Nickelback, but I'm not afraid.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not afraid of Imagine Dragons either.
Maya makes her entrance and decides to interrogate them with the help of her number 2, Kaz. And I just have to point out this person's actual name, Free. if that's actually his shape, but regardless, it's F-R-A, first name. Last name is F-R-E-E. I love that name.
People have such cool names.
I love it.
I don't get it.
Quint tells them, God, guys, so many names. Clint tells them she, meaning Kate, put on the suit by accident. She's not Ronin. She's 9. He also says that he's hard of hearing and not deaf and that his sign language sucks. More cookie, please.
Yeah, that was hilarious. She started signing and he was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I'll show you what I got. More cookie, please.
I love how he can be like, I love you very much, or no, and all this stuff, but he's like, all I know is more cookie, please, past this. I love it. Maya does say, and Kazi translates, that he relies too much on technology, which I think we all do, but it's there. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
also in this conversation, though, she asks about Ronin, right? And so he says that Black Widow killed Ronin. Is that a poetic truth, or is that him throwing a dead woman under the bus?
no, I think it's like a 2-parter, not 3. Yeah.
Tell me, maybe there is 3.
Also, I like the signing for Black Widow because, I mean, it's interesting.
Natasha.
R.I.P. I mean, we knew that she was going to be involved in the show in some shape or form, especially Yelena coming, but I think it's not untrue, because if you remember in Endgame, Nat went to go find Clint, who was Ronin, murdering people on the streets of Japan.
She was like, WTF.
Yeah, she was like, stop doing that. So technically she did kill that side of him, Ronin, and brought him back. So he's not lying. The best way to lie is to tell the truth, but not exactly the truth.
It's still a lie.
But he's not lying. Also, Kate isn't Ronin, so he's not lying at all.
That's true. That's very true.
They're not flat out being like, are you Ronin?
Right.
Because then he'd be probably like, no,
No.
Black Widow was.
Right, exactly.
So then
Do
he
you know
would be throwing
Natasha
her under the bus.
Romanoff?
Yeah. So, but now that he's thrown Black Widow's name into the mix, it's only a matter of time before Yelena comes out. I mean, now we're tiptoeing to the other thing that's been rumored to appear in the show.
I mean, just think of the cavalcade of craziness that's going to happen, right? So we have Maya trying to beat the crap out of him. Yelena is going to show up. Kingpin's going to come at some point.
Tracksuit Mafia.
Tracksuit Mafia, the bros, is going to be too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
But it goes just like Matt Fraction and David Aja's
True.
Hawkeye run, where it was so many villains in that.
Guess who's going to save the day?
Lucky.
Lucky.
Yeah.
The entire Lucky the Pizza Dog episode.
I really hope that happens. I hope in the last episode there has to be like, I don't know, some USB arrow put into something, and then Lucky's like, I got it. Dink. Done. Saved it.
Yeah, he's in this for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
Not just for the cute factor.
Yeah. I love how this interrogation goes from like, oh, it seems like Maya might want to connect with Clint because she notices that he might be deaf and that he signs. That kind of goes out the window. He tries to convince him, like, oh, no, Black Widow killed him. But also Black Widow's also dead, so who's here to corroborate that story? And then she just decides to choke Kate.
She said, guess what? I remember that you were in that Ronin costume. Guess what? I remember that Ronin killed my dad. Guess what? I'm going to choke you out.
Yeah, she chokes her, which I think that's when Kate was just like, I could die.
Yeah, this is serious. This isn't just holiday fun. This
No.
isn't Home Alone antics.
It's not you trying to work through this mafia member's relationship issues and talk about communication. It's, yes, a beautiful woman can come up and decide to kill you.
It's called high stakes.
Yeah.
High stakes.
You'd be so lucky.
Okay.
Yes. Clint then escapes, and this begins an extended foot chase scene around the old KB toys. I like this part. Him and Echo fight. It's apparent that she uses her prosthetic leg, which is like a steel leg.
Mm-hmm.
Be great if she got it made out of vibranium at some point. Just saying.
Could be.
She blocks a hit with it and then kicks him on the side of the head so hard that his hearing aid just flies out of his head.
Mm-hmm. And then she says crunch.
Yeah. And she kicks on it. Stomps on it.
Oh, hiccups. Oh, no. Can I say Two things.
This is your podcast too. Yes.
Two things.
Yes.
So one thing
raised
is that
his hand.
when he first is running through the shelves, there is a giant golden retriever plush.
Lucky.
Little nod to our friend Lucky. And I really appreciate the introduction of what I'm calling the doom slow motion effect.
Okay. I hope there's not too many dooms.
They did 2 dooms in this one scene.
Yeah.
I appreciated it.
So far in the series, they've done like one every episode.
2
in this one,
maybe
2 in
multiples.
this episode. It's okay. Doom. We don't need a Zack Snyder's
Arrow.
Justice League on our hands. So like,
Well, I'm not saying that there's a freaking hot dog moment.
okay. I was talking about how many slow-mo moments there were.
That was a slow-mo moment that was too slow and too many moments.
About this scene though, I do feel like it was a little cluttered
Interesting.
visually. Like you could see when it was just kind of one-on-one, but when there was a lot happening, it was going back and forth. I felt like it was chaotic, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It just was a very chaotic scene throughout the entire KB Toys.
Can I also say something else? Something I appreciate is when you're seeing the Tracksuit Mafia show up in Fraction's comic, it's clearly all like white Eastern European men.
Right.
But in this, it's incredibly diverse. There's men, there's women, there's different races, they're different. It's phenomenal. I really appreciate that.
I like how they changed that little thing. Yeah, and I didn't notice it until this episode because I don't think we saw many other ones until this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Greatly appreciate it. The fight choreo, though, is fantastic, and it continues to be great in this show. Maya's spinning kick stomp that she does, Kate's sliding side kick thing. Yeah, it was a slow-mo one. That one was fine because it wasn't Clint's signature, I'm going to shoot the arrow in slow-mo.
How could you hate
I don't
the
hate
character for the thing that he does?
I don't hate it. It's just we've seen that, like, from Avengers movie, jumping off, turning around, slow-mo thing a lot.
It's to show you how in a split second he can calculate so much of what is happening. The man does not shoot to kill, he shoots to stop. And he has to do that in a split second.
No, I appreciate it. I'm not saying he's not a good archer. I got it. From 2012's Avengers, I got it.
You can't sit here and tell me.
It's been 10 years, guys.
You're like, I don't think he did enough in the Avengers. And then when it comes to this, you're like, I hate that one thing he did in the Avengers.
I didn't say I hated it. I'm just saying.
Subtext, context clues.
I'm just saying at this point, it's getting a little predictable when it's going to happen. That's all I'm saying.
Guess what? Just a guy like me, a random guy off the street, I was like, give me more of them doom moments. I'm spelling it DYOOOOM.
What are you spelling?
Doom.
Oh, the slow-mo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I originally spelled it with a U, but that sounded like jum. So I changed it to O.
This conversation is jum.
The rudeness. You heard it here, recorded. You all heard it.
But speaking of slow-mo shots, he does that shot and frees Kate. But not before grazing Kazi's cheek with the arrow.
Cheek to cheek.
No. Cheek to arrow.
Arrow to cheek.
I do love this next scene, though, because he's in a ball pit and Clint decides, as more Tracksuit Mafia people are coming towards him, he goes under the balls.
Full on like little frog under the water.
And then the Tracksuit Mafia goes up like it's a pool of water. And like, where did he go? He's under the balls.
Yeah, these guys, I mean,
They're
this group,
dumb.
the bros, they're not the slickest. Let's be honest.
I feel like the bro thing is like a hive mind mentality thing to like, I don't know. It's weird. They're all kind of a little dumb.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, is that I think the Tracksuit Mafia isn't necessarily looking for intelligence. They're looking for brute force.
And numbers.
Yeah.
And easy to manipulate
The
and
screening
control.
process does not have an IQ test.
But I do love all of their signage and how they have a moving company called, what is it called? Truck-a-Bro.
Trust a bro.
Truck-a-Bro.
Truck a bro. But it reminds me.
What would that mean? mean?
I mean, what does trust a bro mean, really?
You trust the bro. They're moving it. You trust them.
I would actually hire truck a bro first because it means that they have trucks to move my stuff.
Yeah, if I was like, what is their SOE like on their searching thing? They must really make sure that moving is part of their name.
I don't know what SOE means.
Search engine optimization.
Oh, so that's SEO.
That's what I said, SEO.
I thought you said SOE.
No, I might have, but I changed it to SEO.
Either way, I don't know what either of them means because that is some knowledge that I do not know. But it reminds me of college hunks hauling junk.
That's not their slogan, is it?
Slogan? That's the name of the company.
No, it's not.
Yes.
I just thought it was college hunks.
Well, it's since changed because they do more than haul junk now. They move you, they do whatever. But originally it was
They rub it,
college-
and they lick it, and they...
what?
You're talking about junks and college hunks. Obviously, it's like euphemisms and like, it's weird. That's why I'm
Whatever.
like curious on what they do now.
Oh, stuff with their trucks.
That's it?
Well, yeah, but it's a multi-million-dollar business now.
But do they move like other things?
Yeah,
Or-
they move. They like help. They're like a moving company. They'll haul your junk if you need it. They'll do whatever. The guy was on Millionaire Matchmaker.
I don't... Okay.
Guess what he did on his first date? He made the girl haul junk.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Wait,
She
his
did
first
not-
date of... Oh, Matchmaker. I got it.
Yeah,
I was thinking
Millionaire
Shark Tank.
Matchmaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. This is in the realm of gay pop culture that you don't know
This
about
is
so much.
not in my wheelhouse, but I got it. I'm
Guys, if
following.
you watched about 10 years ago and you saw
Yeah.
this episode of Millionaire Matchmaker, she told him, the matchmaker, Patty something or other, she told him, don't you dare take that girl to haul junk. And guess what he did? He hauled junk with her. Guess what she did? Not go on a second date with him.
But he's a millionaire.
He's a millionaire because he literally started this out of his dorm room.
But you don't need to like make people work in your company. Like,
Well, no, a terrible first date.
that's weird.
You're rich, taker.
I'm sure he
somewhere
doesn't
else.
do it on a normal basis.
Absolutely not.
That's all for show. I don't like that.
Oh, yeah, no, totally scripted reality television.
Boo.
Give me a break.
It's like The Bachelor. All of it's fake.
Fake. Anyway, trust a bro.
Yeah. Trust a bro.
Ooh, the tangents are real.
I thought it was
In this
truck a
episode.
bro, which as I was saying it, I was like, I don't know what that means.
Well, I mean, trust a bro. You can't trust a bro.
Why not?
It's a lie.
Oh, bro's not.
These bros?
Oh, well, no, not these bro. Oh, I get it.
The Tracksuit Mafia is living under the guise of the Trust a Bro moving company.
Right.
It's a lie.
In a KB Toys.
Hello.
What's your
news.
address? Oh, the abandoned KB Toys? Legit.
You know that one that
Here's
burned
your
down a couple
business.
years ago?
Yeah.
We're living in those ashes.
So Kate and Clint are free. When they run out to the parking lot and we think that they're going to get the Charger, they don't. They get a worse car, which turns out to be fine. Because in the comics, it's a very... Matt Fraction and David Hodges. I hope you guys read this comic or know what I'm talking about because we're going to
we
reference
talked about
it a
it
lot.
in the Before You Watch episode.
We can talk about it, but they can't see our words.
Y'all should read these comics because, as you know, I am a peruser of comics. Noah is our expert. I loved this. I loved this comic
Makes me
series.
happy.
The art was so good. The storytelling was so good. The second, like out of the 4 collected volumes, the second 2 weren't so great. But the first 2 were phenomenal. But I do have to share, the omnibus cover is not my favorite thing, especially when the issues are loaded with Aja's amazing art. And
Yeah, it's weird.
My rant.
Yeah, it is really weird.
It's really
I don't
bad.
like it, but they do that with comics and it kind of sucks, but what are you going to do? Buy it anyway.
Yeah. But I think in both the comic and in the TV show, in both of these, this car chase scene introduces the different trick arrows and also is
That's
delightful.
the point. That's the point. And on the Disney Plus day, their sizzle reel for it or whatever, they keep showing this. They keep showing the car chase scene or a snippet of it because it's like they loved this thing. And rightfully so. It's pretty good. I liked it a lot. By this point, though, remember, Echo, Maya, stepped on his hearing aid, so he can't hear shit. He's trying to hotwire this car. Kate keeps talking to him. They can't communicate. In the comics, it's flipped. Kate is driving and Hawkeye's shooting, which would almost kind of make more sense. But I think to bring up the suspense and the randomness and the kind of the comedy, having the person that can't hear her drive while she's shooting and doesn't know what any of the arrows do is great.
And I also think that this gives us a chance as the viewer to see what a badass archer Kate is.
Oh, yeah. She needs this moment, even though we know, but it's good to show. You know what I mean? You can't just...
Show, don't tell.
Right. And they told us in the first two, but now they're showing us how good of an archer she is. I did really like in the beginning of this sequence that there's this awesome Children of Men style oneer inside of the car, meaning like it's like one scene and it kind of like turns. Did you ever see Children of Men?
No.
The car scene? Oh my God. I love it. It's great. Anyway, there's a scene like that where it's in the car and the camera turns. It's not like they cut away. You know what I mean? It feels like one continuous shot. It's great. I love it when they play with camera angles like that. They also escape to the tune of The Mad Russian's Christmas by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. That's Carol of the Bells.
Your favorite.
Yeah.
We learned this at the top of the episode.
That's why I was excited. You did Carol of the Bells. Also because of holidays. So there's going to be these staple holiday songs in this.
They are pushing this holiday motif throughout everything, even the banner on Disney Plus. It's them both in purple, a bullseye behind them, and lights.
Oh, yeah.
And pine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the broad strokes of this whole car chase scene is just like in the comic that we were discussing. All the same basic ingredients are there. The two Hawkeyes, them getting chased, the trick arrows and everything. And I did make a list of what the arrows and what they do to describe this scene. Instead of going scene by scene and trying to piece it together, I was like, this arrow did this. Oh, it turns out it describes what happened. So, putty arrow covers the tracksuit's windshield with purple putty. Also, I love that everything is purple.
Well, I mean, like, this is the thing. The man is trying so hard to not be a brand, but everything is purple.
He kind of likes that.
Or are we kidding?
Exploding arrow blows up the tracksuit's van. Plunger arrow sticks to the awesome 72's Dodge Challenger and later helps Clint and Kate climb onto the train. So it has multi-purpose on that one. Octo arrow is what I'm calling it.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I'm calling it that. It could very well be that.
Better than what I called it. Stringy thing arrow.
I kind of like mine better, just a little bit.
Ouch. Okay.
We have Spider-Man No Way Home coming up, so Doc Ock, Octo arrow.
Got it.
At least 8
grabbers
things that grab Christmas trees and pulled into the van. Liked it. Acid arrow melts through the spotlights or spotlights. Stoplights. I'm too excited, guys. Smoke arrow fills the Challenger with purple smoke. Pym arrow.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool. Makes an ordinary arrow grow ridiculously large with Hank Pym's tech, which allows Ant-Man to change his size, wrecking the tracksuit's van. I will say that this does not seem safe to use all the time.
On a bridge.
But it was freaking awesome. I love that, like, so we know that, like, Iron Man made the suit for Spider-Man. He uses his tech. Great. I like that Hank Pym, his tech / Scott Lang, whoever's doing it at this point, probably Hank Pym, because I don't think Scott Lang's that kind of smart. Their tech is kind of making their way through the Avengers and being able to use it. So it kind of makes me more excited to see what other heroes use, other heroes' tech to improve their powers or abilities. It's kind of cool.
I also like they show that branding is important.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to make an arrow for someone, you better put your name on it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Make it glow blue.
USB arrow, back to the arrows, distracts the tracksuits so Clint and Kate can escape. This ridiculous type of arrow previously appeared in Avengers and What If.
And also in the comic.
Yeah. But funny enough, in the What If one, it helped save that situation because they put Zola in there and then put it into...
That's right.
Yeah, so it's not useless.
Guys,
but
listen.
It does appear in Matt Fraction's Hawkeye.
Love a thumb drive.
It's really funny. And then last but not least, grapple arrow. Allows Clint and Kate to swing from the bridge onto the train. The most unrealistic thing about this entire chase scene and everything is that there was no traffic on a New York City bridge for more than halfway through it.
Fully agree.
Coming
100%.
From 2 people that live in New York that live 20 minutes from New York City, it does not happen.
Recently, Noah and I have been lucky enough to have a lot of bachelor/bachelorette things to go to. And every time we try and get out of the city at any time of day, there is always traffic no matter where you go.
Oh, ridiculous amount. It says like, oh, it's only 120 miles. It's going to take you 8 hours.
I will happily believe that a Pym arrow can make another hour. Oops, my rant got spoiled.
That's what you were trying to say. Yep.
Can make another arrow grow to like 10 million times its size. But you're telling me there's no traffic on a bridge?
That's
New York
like
City?
I can suspend disbelief for a gigantic arrow that only hit the back of the truck and didn't kill everybody inside of the truck.
Yeah, no one died, didn't explode.
But I will not stand for lies with traffic in New York City.
I am with you 100%.
No, never.
I will say that we get a little bit of Russian at this moment when Ivan,
yeah, sure.
Eagle,
Tracksuit guys.
Yeah, gets hit with the USB arrow and he says, Suka.
Yeah.
That means bitch.
Yeah.
I looked it up.
Yeah. I love that part because she's like, stay back. This one's even worse than the other one.
I love Clint running across the bridge to grab one arrow to run all the way back.
It's so good. If you didn't see that when you first watch it, go back and watch that part. Because not only is when the arrow hits the tracksuit guy and the guy freaks out because he thinks it's going to explode or whatever, but seeing Clint do that and like realizing he does it, it's like, this is ridiculous.
So
like,
good.
It's not Cap Shield where it comes back to you automatically. You have to go grab those arrows.
If you run out of arrows, you got to get more. Katniss Everdeen, Hunger Games. Hello.
So now we're at the calm after the car chase. The next scene, it's a shot of them on the subway car. We got to walk the dog, Kate tells Hawkeye. Hawkeye then says she's really one of the world's greatest archers, but he can't hear her. He simply says, we got to walk the dog. I love this scene. But this is where the episode kind of like takes a dip in like, I don't know. The whole thing up to this was very exciting and either emotionally or adrenaline like, and it kind of takes a weird like, we're going to be kind of funny for a few minutes. It's like, okay.
Well, I mean, the thing is that we've just had out of a 40-minute episode, we just had 20 minutes of emotional backstory / full-on action.
Why not make it the whole 45?
You need to take a breather.
No, thank you.
We need to get back to the emotional heart of the characters.
I am glad, though, there's no Irish people in this one. So that's one that came straight from somewhere in your
better
head.
wait. One of those mafia folks are going to be of the Irish descent.
No, what? No.
Why not? They're from all over the world.
I guess. But they all have Russian accents when they talk.
One of them is Latinx.
Have you heard them talk?
Yes.
Oh.
Not in this episode, in the last one.
Oh. Okay, cool. I appreciate it. I do want to, it's nice that this superhero that doesn't think highly of himself does give this compliment to Kate. It's kind of nice. She lived her whole life so far trying to be him. And it's nice that she got the compliment.
I mean, they kind of had a badass romp just now, and they both survived, and they got away, and he got to see how amazing she is.
Yeah.
Kudos. Snaps. He's got to give her the props.
Yeah, but I just love how he can't hear her, so he has no idea what's happening.
Also, the train is noisy. The subway in NYC.
Oh, yeah. No way. Before they flicks Clint's hearing aid, Kate is forced to help her near-deaf idol through a heartbreaking phone call with his youngest son, Nathaniel.
Yeah, that was sad.
I didn't like it. Jerry Renner does do a great job of conveying how much pain Clint is to hear his son tell him it's okay if he won't make it home for Christmas.
Listen,
I had to like really slow down to say that so you guys could understand how upsetting
the
that
severity.
is. Yeah.
I'm getting nervous that he's not going to make it back at all.
He's not going to die.
At all.
He's not going to die.
Murder.
He's not going to die. No way.
He's like, I'll be back. I promise. Guess what? Dad's dead.
If only No, he can't sacrifice himself to save Yelena because that would be some weird poetic justice that has nothing to do with Yelena.
A lot of the world is mad that Natasha had to die instead of him. It's coming.
Well, whatever.
I'm getting nervous.
He's not going to die. I feel like he's going to be like the old man in the chair, or he's going to help set up the Young Avengers or West Coast Avengers and kind of help in that aspect. There's no way.
I don't want him to die. I'm just saying.
No.
All right.
Even though before the show, I could kind of care. I wanted him to die instead of Nat. I am liking him a little bit more, but also I don't want any of our heroes to die. It's just not something I want.
I'm just saying, it's making me nervous. I'll end it there.
Haley Steinfeld does also do a good job, like perfectly relaying Kate's sympathy for Clint in this moment. I think they did a very good job in this scene, is what I'm trying to say.
The thing is that it's her idol.
Right.
She's seeing what he's going through and she wants to be there for him.
Yeah. After fixing Clint's hearing aid, the duo get some breakfast together, and the conversation becomes unexpectedly deep when Clint admits that he doesn't believe he's a role model, which says a lot about how Clint views himself and the work he's done as Hawkeye. It's kind of sad.
I mean, I think he always lives with the guilt of letting his grief turn him into Ronin, and also the guilt of watching Natasha sacrifice herself for him.
Yeah, but he has to he was a shield. Oh, he probably didn't do great things as a shield agent / whatever he was doing with Natasha, but give himself some credit.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it for him, as we're seeing in this series, is his value.
What did the choices matter?
Right. But I also think that his value and his worth is really invested in his family.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of the things that he
wants.
did in his past would not really truly lead to his family being safe or being able to live without some sort of burden. So for him, he looks at the things that he's done as hurting the thing he truly loves the most.
Yeah, I do also think it's interesting that he hasn't told Kate about him being Ronin. Like, he doesn't trust her enough. Like, even though they're getting closer, and that's kind of the point of this show and this episode and the moments that they are together, he doesn't trust her enough to fill her in on the secrets. Probably also because she thinks that Ronin's a brutalizing murderer that killed criminals regardless, still a murderer. So I don't know. I think it's going to be messy when she finds out that he was Ronin. I think that's going to be the final step to him opening up to her. Yeah. Is that he was Ronin.
She can either accept it, or it can be that very dramatic teen movie thing of you didn't tell me? You kept this from me?
I think she's going to be upset, but I don't know which way she's going to be upset.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
I hope by the end of this that Clint's opinion of himself does change just a little bit. I mean, he has a really rich New York City girl that cares about him and did her whole life to be like him. Come on, dude.
I mean, and also, though, you have 3 beautiful children and a beautiful house in the country where folks chop wood and everybody's happy. So
Agreed.
Enjoy what you got, boo.
The best part about this scene is Lucky finally gets his name.
Sir Dog of Pizza.
No, Little Caesar.
Yes.
Pizza Dog.
Pizza Dog.
So I like that they're kind of doing the nickname that a lot of people say, because they don't necessarily call him Lucky. They call him Pizza Dog. And if you notice on Twitter, the little emoji, whenever you do hashtag whatever, it's not for Lucky. It's not for Lucky the Pizza Dog. It's for Pizza Dog. So we knew it.
Also, Lucky the Pizza Dog is played by a beautiful golden hair actress named Jolt. And there was an article in Elle about it that Nola sent me, who is an amazing librarian.
I like how you said the name. Everybody knows.
But Jolt,
you also have to disguise their names.
Oh. I just like shouting out the great people in our lives.
Clint and Kate go to her mom, Eleanor Bishop's magnificent penthouse, to get more information on their adversaries through Bishop's security files. Because, I mean, if you have that at your fingertips, you might as well.
Oh, yeah. She said, guess what? The firewall's nothing when I'm on the home network. Got it.
That's what you think.
Clint. Yeah, true.
Kate gets a brief glance at the files for Kazi and sees that he works for Sloan Limited, which definitely sounds like a front company. Just saying.
Also, the fact that she gets blocked out of the access that should be granted through the house makes me feel like someone's watching what they're doing.
The only thing the only reason why she got blocked is because she was looking up Jack. Jack's files specifically blocked them out.
Jacques Ducasse?
Yeah. She went to go look up her would-be stepfather. Jack was not allowed, got locked out. Wandering around the apartment, Clint suddenly finds the Ronin sword, which Jack stole after the tracksuits attacked episode 1's underground auction, at his throat. That's where he finds it, if that wasn't clear. He finds the sword at his throat. He finds it,
but who's holding it?
Don't move, says Jack.
Oh, there you go.
We already know Jack is super skilled with the blade and likely murdered his uncle Armand III. Maybe killed Maya's dad too. Just putting it out there. Ooh. It seems like he's been manipulating Eleanor to get into her security company's resources, but it's also possible that she's in on it, given that we heard Armand confronting her about her company being built on a lie. I don't know. There's
also,
too much.
Butterscotch.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Butterscotch. This show ends at the worst time. There's a thing called cliffhanger, but when it ended like that, it just felt like something was missing.
But here's like the thing. Is like, do we think the next episode is going to pick up with an action-packed fight sequence or a misunderstanding and now we're talking and it's not as exciting?
He's not going to reveal himself yet. Not yet. He's going to think that he's an intruder and then blah, blah, blah.
He's not going to say, Bonjour, Clint. It is me, the man from the circus who trained you.
No, because one, he doesn't talk like that in the show, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And two, I feel like Maya's going to find him.
Oh.
I feel like they're going to be chased by the Tracksuit Mafia up until they run into Yelena.
Hopefully the next episode. We're halfway through.
Now we're more than halfway through because we're in episode 4, technically going forward. I'm just saying we're over the halfway mark.
We're exactly halfway through.
No, we're closer.
3 out of 6 is half.
Whatever. There's only 3 episodes remaining in the season. Clint and Kate still need to cross paths with Yelena. So we have 3 episodes for that to happen. Find out the truth behind Armand's murder. I was going to say Armand III, but I didn't for some reason. And Jack's potential connection to it, and even figure out how Kate Mother fits into everything. Because I don't trust her. She's too good of an actress.
Not a mask. You said it.
Yeah, I feel like she just has the face,
the hair,
too,
and the hair. They're doing the hair.
Yeah, absolutely. On top of Maya and the Tracksuit Mafia, there's a lot of villains for Team Hawkeye.
Team Hawkeye's 2 people.
Yeah.
Soon to be 3 with Echo. Fingers crossed.
Pizza Dog.
Soon to be 4 with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But also, if Kingpin gets introduced, there's too much. There's no way.
It's too much.
I'm also, and this is the last thing that I'll say about this episode, because we should probably be wrapping it up, because our episode is now longer than the actual episode of the show.
43 minutes.
But I'm curious to see how this connects to anything at this point. Like, is it just the footnote to what happened at the end of Black Widow with Yelena to then usher in the 2 new characters? But I feel like, Kevin Feige was saying you need to watch everything. You don't want to miss anything because it all is going to connect, blah, blah, blah. The next thing that comes out is Spider-Man No Way Home, which does take place in New York. But during what time? So
yeah, I mean, I think maybe it's really just to introduce Kate Bishop as taking up the mantle of Hawkeye. And, as we're going through these series, right, we now have our new Captain America with Sam Wilson, and we're going to have our new Hawkeye with Kate Bishop.
Ooh. Cake bisque.
Someone make a Cake Bishop cake.
Anybody that listened to us know how to draw? If you got this far into the episode, this insane episode, can you draw a Cake Bishop?
Oh my God, make it, bake it.
I want to try or bake it. Any bakers?
Oh my God, make it like ube. Ube's purple. It's purple.
Is that potato?
Right? Yeah, it's a purple sweet potato. Steven Universe, remember Lars made that?
I remember.
Anyway.
R.I.P. Lars.
No, he's alive.
I know, but he died.
Yeah, he did.
Anyway, finish your point.
Yeah. I lost track. Cake Bishop. I don't even know what I was talking about. Anyway, I got it. I think if anything at all, it's just to continue the character storylines and building our new Avengers.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
There has to be something, even if it's the last scene, just like in Black Widow, has to be something that connects it.
Mm-hmm.
Just curious.
We get Monica right? We get Monica from WandaVision.
Everybody from the shows just kind of come into this one. Yeah.
Well,
to
not into
spice
this
it
one,
up.
but they're all going to, at some point, be our new team or be our new heroes.
I can't wait.
That's my hope, sort of.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
We'll see. Next week, episode 4.
All right. I'll make this a quick special
You
segment.
have to make it a quick one.
For Christmas sake.
Oh, yeah. Play the music. Bing.
So I'm inspired by KB Toys for this story that I'm about to share.
Okay.
So back in the day, surprise, I'm sure, Derek was a huge fan of the Spice Girls. Who's surprised?
Oh my God.
No one's surprised, right? So in my Spice Girls collecting of everything, right? I got stickers. I got the lollipops, which were so delicious. If you loved a Spice Girls lollipop, please comment below. They were Chupa Chups. They came with a sticker. They were in a pop package. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah, you had to pop it open, right?
Yeah, they were so delicious.
I didn't really have like many of them, but
My mom had a hookup at the local deli and would buy them by the box for me.
that sounds like a New York mom.
Yeah,
For sure.
Okay, so we saw in the KB Toy circular that they were going to be selling Spice Girls dolls. So these are basically just
Barbie dolls.
that are the Spice Girls, right? So we went to the mall where the KB Toys was located. We get there. There was a line out the door.
Makes sense.
And they were sold out of the Spice Girls dolls. Guess who left in tears?
Your mom.
Both of us. Me. So Joni, my mom, always on a mission to make me happy, said, okay, well, we'll go to Toys R Us. We went to Toys R Us. They said they were sold out of the Spice Girl dolls. But guess what? We were walking past one of the registers and I saw them packing a Spice Girls doll into a bag. And I said, Mom, that's a Spice Girls
Oh
doll.
my God.
And my mom said, that's a Spice Girls doll. I thought you said you were sold out. Everybody froze. Guess what? Black market Spice Girl operation at the local Toys R Us.
Oh, well, I mean, that's kind of smart.
A guy in the stockroom
Oh, yeah.
bought a pallet of them himself and then was selling them for a little extra money.
I hate people like that, but that is so smart.
So unfortunately, they were sold out of my favorite Sporty Spice, so I settled for Ginger. Joni had to pay an extra $50 for that.
No.
In the doll.
What?
Well, she bought one for me and then she bought 2 for my cousins. I think she did like $20 for each one extra.
What?
Back room deals.
Oh, so it wasn't even through the inventory of Toys R Us. It was through the pallet guy.
No.
in the back.
We literally we stood by the stockroom doors and the guy said, this is what I got. So then we
Wow.
had to pay him because he bought them himself.
You did a Craigslist before Craigslist.
That's right.
At least it was at the store and he worked there, so you knew where he worked.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah, that's fucked up.
yeah. So
That actually comes into play with the U.S. Congress just passing the no
you're right.
Grinch
The
thing.
Grinch thing.
Yeah, they are outlawing scalpel bots for mass buying all the stuff and selling it for exorbitant amount of money.
Exactly.
Just like the fucking Spider-Man No Way Home tickets,
Oh, impossible.
$25,000. Thousands of dollars people are selling these tickets for. It sold out faster than Avengers Endgame
I don't
did.
understand. I don't understand. I mean, I like Spider-Man, but I mean, really?
Well, no, but people are buying. Not, I don't think that much, but people are buying them for like $1,000. People are
Stop
buying
it.
them.
I don't agree with that.
The thing is, I know this is like a tangent, but it's like if you don't see it in a reasonable amount of time, the entire thing gets spoiled for you. And just imagine this thing that you've been reading and loving your entire life, and you're like, they're finally getting a movie, they're finally doing this, and you waited 2 years since the last one, and then it gets spoiled in an instant for you because people bought all those tickets and are selling them for thousands of dollars. So,
It sucks.
yeah, it sucks. But I would buy it if I had no other option.
Well, good thing we're going at 3:30 in the afternoon.
yeah,
on
we got ours
Thursday.
early. I woke up at 3 a.m.
Woo, he was on them apps looking for tickets.
I did it, guys. Okay, well,
Oof.
that's it for this episode.
All right, 3 hours later.
Yeah. Love you.
Love you.
Thanks for listening to A Bite Of, artwork and editing by our own Noah. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at A Bite Of Pod and on Facebook at A Bite Of. If you have questions, recommendations, or just want to say hi, you can email us at abiteofpod@gmail.com. You can find us on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate and review to spread the word. Hope you join us next time on A Bite Of. Bye!